Okay.
Okay.
Hi, Tim.
Hi, Geoff.
We're here to talk about peer support groups generally, but peer support groups in particular. What has your involvement been with peer support groups?
I've probably had a fairly extensive involvement in a couple of different settings. I certainly have helped run peer support or discussion groups on inpatient wards around recovery and talking about, what people want to do with their lives when they get out and things like that. But my most relevant experience, I suppose, is in the community, and it's running Hearing Voices peer support groups, which I've been doing in Wollongong for about 6 or 7 years, I think now. We run a weekly support group that is independent, but we have a room in that's donated by an NGO organisation, Flourish, in Wollongong, where we just meet. It's co-facilitated by a number of people who work as peer workers, but also by members of the group, people with a lived experience of voice hearing.
Right.
And we currently have the meeting is basically chaired by that person, one person who has the lived experience, and she's been doing that for the last 12 months, I suppose. And it's, I think they're just so valuable.
I imagine that would be I honestly can't get my head around hearing voices.
Yeah.
I think unless you hear them, you can't possibly have an understanding. And so I can imagine that in that situation, that would be extremely valuable.
Yes, yeah. So I have bipolar. I don't hear voices.
I've got bipolar too.
I've got bipolar 1. So
I'm diagnosed with bipolar 1, but I think I've actually got an extreme form of bipolar 2.
Yes. Well, these diagnostic criteria.
Yeah.
But look, it is, and I think that's why it's so valuable having this person. And she came to the group quite distressed, and we're not a therapeutic group, but it's just having support and being able to talk about your experiences in a non-judgmental setting is incredibly valuable to people and aids their recovery. We had another lady who came and almost without hardly saying a word, for a while, and she ended up running the group, ended up with her psychiatrist's approval, coming off all her medication. And going on and just really feeling good about life and going on and doing things with her life. She's in Scotland now, but so we have a core group of people who come and really appreciate that, and then sometimes people come and we have some literature that we can give out that's kindly been put together by Hearing Voices Australia, New South Wales too, I think, and so it's just, for the people who come, it's an hour and a half of time where they feel comfortable, and there's no shame, there's no stigma. It's just a bunch of people talking about voice hearing, about what we're doing on the weekend, what we did last week, just having a chat. Yeah, sometimes it's just good.
After my most recent being discharged, I became a member of a group that Douglas Holmes was running at St Vincent's.
Yes, yeah.
And it was certainly one of the most important things in my recovery. Just having this meeting that I could go to once a week, even if I didn't say anything much.
Yeah.
I didn't have to explain myself to people.
Yeah, well, I can identify with that, because often when you come out of an episode of mania, I presume, you're feeling pretty flat, and it's little steps back into life sometimes, and having something that you feel comfortable going, somewhere that you're comfortable going to, things that you're comfortable talking about, that's a really important step. And it's about breaking down that isolation and building up a community again, I think. Groups do that.
Yes.
Yeah. Community, yeah.
Well, that's terrific, Tim.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Geoff.
And
thank you.
We'll shake on that.
Okay.
Okay.
Have a sandwich.